the free SMS text blasting guide step by step. Guys, it's Rick Ginn. In today's video, we're going to talk all about texting, or also known as SMS. And most of you are used to like paid services. I'm going to show you how to do it 100% for free, but you got to stay tuned for the whole thing. So before I get into it, make sure you smash that like button, you hit that subscribe button. Let's do it. So is SMS text blasting illegal? And the answer is definitively, no, it's not illegal. What happens is the carrier services, T-Mobile, Sprint, you name it, all these carriers, they get complaints. What they try to do is find the people sending out spam text messages, meaning hundreds of thousands, sometimes it's tens of thousands. And once they get enough complaints on it, like it's report junk, it comes up as a scam likely. And those calls get what we call ghosted. They never get delivered. And I'm going to teach you today how to stay out of that. SMS text blasting is not illegal, but it's discouraged on a high spam level. And we don't teach that method. So it is excellent. The reason why I like text blasting so much is it creates speed, and more speed. Honestly, if you're a single operator, if you're a guy or a gal and you're starting out your wholesaling business, that's great. I did it my first 7 years, way too long. I don't want you to do as long as I did, but text blasting is incredible for the single operator. Why? Because you don't need a staff to do it. You can reach thousands and thousands of people from the convenience of your home office, your cell phone, but I'm going to share the tools to get you started on that. To do my method of free SMS text blasting, you just need two things. You need a cell phone and you need a Google Voice account. And the really cool thing is the Google Voice account is 100% free. The cell phone, you're already paying for it anyway, so don't complain about the cost of your cell phone. Once you have those two things, you can easily do SMS text blasting for free. So the key is when you do the text blasting is you have to avoid the spam title. That's how you come up scam likely. Now there's a lot of gurus that want you to go out and pump these giant services and do 30,000 pieces of data and click a button. Honestly, if you do that, it's not gonna work. The carriers are filtering it. The gurus have oversold it. And here we are stuck. Wholesalers in today's market in 2023 trying to figure out how to get our messages delivered. So to avoid being labeled spam, the reality is on your Google Voice and your cell phone, you can't send more than 5 texts within an hour. So that's a total of 10 texts per hour. And if you look at 12 hours during the day when basically the sun's up, you don't want to be sending texts in the middle of the night. That allows you to send 120 texts per day. Do the math, guys. Do the math. That's 3,600 total free SMS texts you could send. If you can't find a lead in 3,600, we need to talk about your list. Don't worry, we're going there. So once you understand how to avoid the spam, you now have to understand the second part of getting through spam is you can't send the exact same identical message every time, because once it gets duplicated, it gets flagged and your message will not be delivered. So you're going to have variations to your message. You can't just have a static. Static means you have the exact same message for 3,000 people. You're going to have to vary it up. Don't worry, I'm going to teach you how to do that. How do you vary it up? Simply use our double whammy script. A double whammy script is kind of what it says it is you're going to ask a question, a simple question that is relative to that homeowner on information you already have. You already have their address, you have their name, you have their phone number. So we're going to ask a simple question. And after we do question number 1, which sets them up, we're going to go in to gauge their interest if they want to sell the property. And basically, guys, this is how you disqualify people in SMS texting. The reality is you're not calling them, you're sending them a message. I don't want to talk to people that have no interest in selling their house. It's a huge waste of time. This is why speed is so excellent in SMS texting, because you can connect with the people that really want to do business with you, and you can do it on a mass scale. So don't worry. In a moment, I'm going to go through the actual script for you, and I'll share it with you. And I want you to learn you have to vary up your text messages. Now, once we do the double whammy script, you are looking to get a response. The whole purpose of SMS text blasting is to invoke your sellers to initiate a response. Some are positive, most are negative. We are just looking to filter to get the ones that actually want to talk to someone. And remember, your goal after that is not to be texting them back. Once they respond to you, then you have their permission to communicate to them, and you won't be marked as spam. And it helps the carriers going, okay, this is a legitimate text these people are sending out from this number. So having them initiate a response to you helps you get through those spam filters, and then helps you disqualify the ones you don't want to work with. But I want you to understand, please reduce your temptation to text them back after they do that. You have to convert it to a phone call. Remember, the whole goal of texting, SMS Blast, is to find and identify the ones that actually want to work with you. Guys, don't think you can sit there and just text them all day, because some want to do that. The only way you're ever going to close them is you got to talk to them on the phone and actually qualify them, because if you don't invoke emotion, if you don't bring in and build rapport and have conversations with them, you are just a machine. So the goal is to use this as a tool to find motivated sellers and then get them on the phone. So let's talk about the double whammy script. And it's real simple. We're going to have 2 questions. Let's start out with question number 1. Hey, is this the owner of 123 Main Street? Pause. Hopefully looking for a yes, or hey, let me go get my dad, whatever it is. Hey, this is your neighbor, Rick. Hey, I drove by, got a quick question about the house. Pause. You don't even pause because it's text. So I'm so used to doing stuff on the phone. What you're trying to do is invoke a response. So when they say, yes, I'm the owner, then you go to question number 2. Number 2 takes the, who are you and what are you doing? Hey, this is Rick. I'm your neighbor. I drove by the house. Now, am I technically the neighbor? No, but I've driven by the neighborhood. Remember, you're trying to evoke a response so you don't get marked as spam. And this is not a deceitful practice. You're going to have to engage them. If you do what everybody else does on SMS text, send it like that static print, send it out to 10,000, they never get delivered. They're wasting their time. I'm teaching you guerrilla tactic warfare measures for doing SMS text blasting. Remember, once they engage you and they have interest in selling, you go back and do the regular qualifying we teach over at freewholesaling.com. But remember, we have to disqualify first. We're setting up 2 questions. The first part is we're identifying who the person is. We want to make sure we're talking to the right person. And number 2, we're letting them know who we are. Now, once we've done that, which are your most common questions, now we go to the second part of the script. And it simply says, hey, are you interested in selling the property? You can say, hey, are you interested in selling at this time? Me and my partner, Zach, are looking to buy one more house in that neighborhood, and yours looks like a good fit. That's it. And the idea is to get a response from them. Once you have a response, you have a good lead and you can work it normally like you do through freewholesaling.com. Remember, you initially have to go through the disqualification process. Using the double whammy script does it all for you. Now, remember, we talked about we're going to have to vary this up. So like, well, Rick, how am I going to come up with hundreds of different variations? Don't worry, this is where AI's got you covered. Artificial intelligence, Chat GPT, take the 2 whammy scripts that I just gave you and put it in and ask for 10 different variations. You don't even have to think about it. Actually, you're going to be shocked at how well they're going to script this for you. And you can use it in a rotation and you can do thousands of these. Guys, get creative and just do something that makes your sellers curious. If you think about curiosity, sometimes you talk about home values, like think outside the box, but anything that engages. But the most important is the variation so you don't get marked as spam. So let's go over the game plan. Now that you know how to deliver your message without being marked as spam and how to be creative and how not to do it like every guru teaches you to do these mass softwares, if you can do 10 text an hour for 12 hours a day, that's 120. Go like, Rick, my God, that's a lot of work. Hey, I'm giving you the free route. Don't complain. We've got to get you deals so you can get some money so you can use some services to help scale your operations up. So if you're at a limited budget, we have to work within the parameters sort of give us. So 120 a day times 30 days, that's 3,600 texts you can send for free. That will be delivered to potential motivated sellers to get your first wholesale deal. Now, guys, I'm here to tell you, probably the second biggest part you had to understand, you got to have high quality lists. If your lists are garbage, I don't care what you send, it's not going to work. So as usual, I want you to focus on all your government lists, your code violations, your water shutoffs, your fire damaged properties, your eviction list, your pre-foreclosures. Get every list known that's offline or online. But remember, you're looking for off-market properties. That's where the sweet spot in is wholesaling, and you need the highest motivation possible. So make sure you stack your lists and your odds. If you want to learn more on how to get the correct list, go to freewholesaling.com. And one of the most important texts you guys don't want to forget about is just your simple driving for dollars list. These lists are a double whammy in my opinion. I know I'm abusing that word today, but you're driving around in your local market, you see properties that just don't look right, blue tarps, boarded up windows, just deferred maintenance, knockdown mailboxes, and that gives you a huge upper hand. And once you get that, you can basically skip trace that deal, find the seller's phone number, go to truepeoplesearch.com, and then put that in your list because it's going to double your odds. Guys, don't overlook driving for dollars. It is really, really critical, and it's going to give you the most targeted list possible. Make sure you add that to your government list. And as usual, when you get engagement, they're responding to you in somewhat of a positive manner, you need to get them on the phone. I don't want you to think you can close everybody by text. Actually, I've done 2 deals in my entire life via text. And remember, texting hasn't been around my entire wholesaling career. So odds are for you to invoke emotion and have people commit to you, building rapport and conversations, you're going to have to do it by phone. You will not get this done via text. Don't forget that. So here's what I need you to do. You have the formula for the free SMS text blasting. I get it. Times are tight. You're starting out with no money. This is the way you get started with it. And so stop sitting on the sideline and waiting for this to happen until you get a little bit of money. Go out and do 50 texts this evening right now. And tomorrow I want you to commit to the 120 texts per day. And most importantly, go out and get your driving for dollars list, all your government lists, start putting it all together. And here's the deal. You've got to take action. Just because you have limited resources doesn't mean you can't be resourceful. Doing our free SMS text blasting is your ability to be resourceful no matter what odds are in your way. Remember, if you chose wholesaling, you are a special person and it's going to take special effort on your part. Stop making excuses. Go out, get those 50 texts today. And guys, if you got value from this video, do me a favor, smash that like button, hit that subscribe notification button to continue to receive the absolute best videos on wholesaling today. Guys, this is Rick Ginn. I'll see you soon.